This is ShadowQuant Forex Edition, brought to you by AriesLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Wednesday, June 10, 2026, and this is the New York pre-market. Now, let's get into it. The dollar is holding firm as markets digest a mixed CPI print and rising tensions with Iran. The DXY is at 120.8, up 0.72% this week. And gold is still in the red, down 0.93% at $4,182.77. But the VIX is still elevated at 18.92, and the Fear and Greed Index is at 14, fearful. With investors favoring safe havens, what's the story here? Let's start with the recap. SPECTER, your 24-hour call on cable was bearish, targeting 1.336. The price was flat at 1.33878, so that call didn't pan out. What happened?
I thought the 1.336 level would hold, but the market just wasn't moving. The technicals didn't confirm the bearish break, and the sentiment was too mixed. I missed the lack of momentum in cable.
CIPHER, your call was also bearish on cable, targeting 1.33. The price stayed flat. Why didn't it move?
The CFTC data showed that leveraged funds were actually neutral on pound, not bearish. I didn't account for the fact that the positioning wasn't as extreme as I expected. I'll be watching the flow data more closely this time.
GRID, your 24-hour call on cable was bearish, targeting 1.336. The price stayed flat. What did you miss?
I assumed the 1.336 level would act as a strong support, but the market wasn't showing any signs of reversal. The volume was low and the technicals didn't support a bounce. I overestimated the strength of the bearish setup.
Pulse, your call was bearish on cable, targeting 1.33. The price stayed flat. What's your take? I thought the sentiment was too cautious for pound, but the market didn't react. I should have considered that the euro was also under pressure, and the pound was holding up better than I expected. I'll look at the broader euro-sterling relationship more closely this time. Apex, your call was bearish on cable, targeting 1.334. The price was flat. What's your analysis?
The CFTC data showed that leveraged funds were neutral in pound, not bearish, which I didn't fully account for. I need to check the positioning more carefully before making a call. I'll be watching the flows more closely next time.
Let's break this down. The dollar is still strong despite a mixed CPI print. The DXY is at 120.8, up 0.72% this week. The VIX is at 18.92, and the Fear and Greed Index is at 14, fearful. SPECTER, what's your read on the risk-off sentiment?
The Fear and Greed Index is at 14. That's a very low number. The market is clearly favoring safe havens, and the VIX is still elevated at 18.92. That's a sign that uncertainty is still high. I think the dollar is going to stay strong in the short term as a safe haven.
Pulse, how does this sentiment play into your analysis? The sentiment is definitely bearish, but it's not as extreme as it could be. The Fear and Greed Index is at 14, which is fearful, but it's also rising. That suggests that the market is starting to look for a bottom. I think we could see some relief in the next 24 hours, but the dollar is still the main story. Let's talk about cable. It's at 1.33878, up 0% from yesterday. GRID, what's your technical read on this pair?
Cable is sitting right below its 5-day high of 1.33906. The 1.336-1.337 area is key support, and if it breaks below that, it could head toward 1.335. The 4-hour chart shows a bearish divergence, so I'm watching for a potential breakdown.
CIPHER, what's your flow analysis on cable?
The CFTC data shows that leveraged funds are neutral in pound, not bearish. The positioning isn't as extreme as it was in previous weeks. That means the market isn't as oversold as it could be. I'm not seeing a strong bearish case right now, but I'm watching for any signs of a reversal.
SPECTER, you're the contrarian. What's your take?
I think the bearish case is overplayed. The 1.336 level is important, but the volume isn't showing any signs of a breakout. The market is just waiting for the EFFOMC decision, and that's what's keeping it flat. I'm not seeing a strong reason to go short right now.
Let's move to dollar yen. It's at 160.358, up 0.2% from yesterday. Grid, what's your technical read on this pair?
Dollar yen is near its 5-day high of 160.435, and the 160 level is key support. If it breaks below that, it could head toward 159.5. The technicals are mixed. The pair is near a critical resistance level, but the broader dollar strength is still in play.
CIPHER, what's your flow analysis on dollar yen?
The CFTC data shows that leveraged funds are neutral in yen, not bullish. The positioning isn't as strong as it was in previous weeks. That means the dollar isn't as overbought as it could be. I'm watching for any signs of a pullback.
SPECTER, what's your risk analysis on this pair?
The VIX is still elevated at 18.92, which suggests that the market is still volatile. Dollar yen is at a key resistance level, but I'm not seeing a strong breakout. If the Fed doesn't signal a pause, the pair could head lower, but I'm not seeing a strong bearish case right now.
SPECTER, you pushed back on grid read on dollar yen. Let's dig into that.
Grid thinks dollar yen is near a key resistance level and could break lower, but I think the technicals are too stretched. The 160.435 level is a 5-day high, but the broader macro story is still in favor of dollar. I think the pair is more likely to consolidate than break lower.
I agree that the dollar is strong, but the 160.435 level is a key resistance. If it breaks below, the pair could head toward 159.5. The 4-hour chart shows a bearish divergence, so I think the technicals are in favor of a breakdown.
CIPHER, what's your take?
The CFTC data shows that leveraged funds are neutral in yen, not bullish. That means the dollar isn't as overbought as it could be. I think the pair is more likely to consolidate than break lower.
My 24-hour call, cable bearish, target 1.335 by next session.
My 24-hour call, dollar yen bearish, target 159.2 by next session.
My 24-hour call, dollar yen bearish, target 159.8 by next session.
My 24-hour call, euro-dollar bearish, target 1.145 by next session.
My 24-hour call, euro-dollar bearish, target 1.145 by next session.
The dollar is still in focus as markets digest a mixed CPI print and rising tensions with Iran. The VIX is still elevated, and the fear and greed index is at 14 fearful. What to watch tomorrow? The EFFOMC decision and any signs of a pullback in dollar pairs. This is AI-generated content for informational purposes only, not financial advice. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Forex edition. Stay tuned for the New York session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.